Hello, everybody. I'm Melissa Molina from TMV. Hello. This question is for Mr. Singer and for the writer. What kind of challenges did you have to go through dealing with such a beloved story arc? And also, I'm really curious, just as a general X-Men fan, how much of a role Kitty Pryde has in Days of Future Past.
Do you want to start, son?
I'm on this side. Well, it was important to us, obviously, as Bryan's been in the past, to be really loyal to the original books, and this was one of the most beloved storylines, and it's beloved by us as well. So I think it approached me any comic, it's about figuring out fundamental characters and themes from the original run. And so we were loyal to those characters and themes and a lot of the storytelling. The biggest difference is that Kitty's not the one who goes back in time, Kitty's the one who sends someone back in time. And so, as people will see in our reel today, Wolverine goes back in time.
Check. Yeah, it was a decision. I mean, initially, it began with the goal was to try to make a film that would bring these casts together in some way, and time travel or time displacement of some kind. Time displacement.
Yes.
But would be a tool that we could use to do that. And then it seemed exciting to be able to send Hugh, basically the notion is Hugh of the future, or Wolverine of the future is sent into, his consciousness is sent into his younger self. And it's nice because Hugh was able to play both parts because the character of Wolverine is ageless, which is extremely unique. And it was great to be able to place him in both these worlds as a character, and for me to reunite with this original cast and to get to work as a director with the new cast. So.
Thank you.
Hi, Jamie Clover with IamRogue.com. I wanted to ask the original trilogy actors, what's it feel like to return to these characters after so long? And for the new first-class actors, what's it like for you guys to get to mix with the original cast actors?
It just heard me talking. It bored me, very bored.
Oh, you just did the Wolverine?
Yeah, we just did the Wolverine.
How'd it go?
Well, it wasn't as big a crowd as it is now. But,
well, you know, these things have a strange life because you start out and it could just be a movie and that's it, and hello and goodbye. But then it develops its own life force. And by the way, that was a movie I made with...
I saw it in a blink of an hour.
Who directed that movie, you remember?
Toby Hooper.
Toby Hooper.
Yeah.
I never saw it.
Nerd and proud.
No, the best part about this movie has been for me knowing that at an earlier time in my life, I was James McAvoy.
And if I have to grow up into being somebody, how cool is it to grow up to be Sir Patrick Stewart? Star of stage and screen. So it's a big kick getting to work with Patrick. I got to be in the same room as Ian and Hugh and Ellen and everybody, and Shawn and stuff, but I actually got to act with Patrick. I've been a fan of this for years. So it was a real kick. But just dramatically, getting to kind of, you know, the whole idea behind First Class, kind of rejigging, rebooting, but also showing who we were when we were younger. I never thought for a second I'd actually get to work with Patrick, so that was just quite interesting to show the two opposite sides of these people at different times in their lives and their personal adventures. You know.
I'm looking forward one day to being as dashing and successful as Michael Fassbender. But we can't really believe our luck, can we? That we're still allowed out. And also, playing a character over 2, 3, is it 4 films we've been in now? Or is it 4 films I've made with you, Bryan? I'm never quite sure. Both, okay. It's fun to go back to the character and realise that he's still lurking inside you. But these stories are so neat to be told. That's what I like about the X-Men. These aren't casual movies. These aren't summer vacation movies. They're classics. And to be allowed to be associated with them is a genuine honour. And it doesn't matter how little I have to do in the next one, Bryan. I'll be ready and waiting.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
And I think it's nice. I mean, we all love the films, but what's nice for me is that in the first movie, we all became such good friends, and we really like each other, and we like being around each other. So to have a chance to do the work that we love, but to hang out with the people that we really admire, respect, and like to be around, for me, is the joy of coming back to do these movies. And the beauty is, because we are good friends, we pick up as if we just saw each other yesterday. And I was really happy to see everybody and meet the new cast, but hang out with my old friends that I really love a lot.
Jennifer, you have a comment?
I think being black is equivalent.
This tastes really good. Oh, God, sorry. It's really the same as what everyone was saying. We became so close on First Class, and after I got the movie, I went and watched all of them, and am a recent huge fan. And I never thought that I would even be able to meet some of the original cast, so it's really great. I'm sorry, I got so thrown by hitting myself in the face with the microphone that I can't even believe I managed to get an answer out. So.
It was cool when Nick and Jen walked on because she happened to do a fitting the day we were in the old hall. I built the old hallways from the X-Men 1, 2, and 3. It's the 4th time we built these old blue hallways. They're kind of iconic a little bit in the X-Men films now. So when you guys, it was really fun when they walked on the set because they'd been in an X-Men movie, but not with those hallways or with Hugh as Wolverine.
Yeah, there really wasn't a lot of familiar stuff.
Yeah, you were standing in the hallway, and we were looking at one of your costumes, and then you were like, "Can I see Cerebro?" I was like, "Sure, I'll show you Cerebro."
That's not a euphemism, by the way.
Yeah.
She was already cast.
How about you, Ellen? You have 2 cents to add on your experience working with Ellen? Yes.
Sit down. I was just in the 3rd one, and it was 18. It feels like a while ago, and I just done really a movie called Hard Candy, and was on the set and had never been involved with anything of remotely that scale, and just felt so welcomed by such obviously not just an incredibly talented group of people, but just like the loveliest, sweetest people who were so kind. And never did I think I'd be back like Kitty Pryde again. So I was just so thrilled to be back with everyone and exploring something new and something very different, and just had a great time every day working with everybody.
How about one more? Nicholas, do you have any thoughts to add about the experience of working with the old cast?
Yeah, no, it was what Bryan was saying. When we walked into those old corridors, and for the first time we were doing a scene, I looked over during a take and looked over and saw Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I sat there and panicked, and I was like, freaked out a little bit, because those were films that I grew up watching. So it was fascinating because the first class film didn't, even though it was an X-Men movie, it didn't feel like the X-Men movies that I knew. So it's very exciting and nice to be back with everyone and have some new friends.
Don't look at me.
I had a weird experience when I did Narnia. I walked into KNB, the prosthetics house in LA, to get my Mr. Tumnus stuff all sorted out, do headcast and all that. And in that room was like a massive lion, and it was Aslan. And I've been a huge fan of these books growing up and all that kind of stuff. And I saw Aslan, and I went down on my knees and I went, "My king," you know. And I've never really had that experience again in my career, but weirdly, with